did they have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Yeah, and they're very, very big eggs.
Huge eggs.
On my rod to catch some squid in the ocean.
Come join us on a narrow gauge train journey exploring the Moonta mine site heritage area. Moonta gets its name from a word from the local Narunga Aboriginal people, Moonta Montera, meaning thick, impenetrable scrub. This area was covered in it. The town has been recognised since 1861, when a farmer was watching his sheep and discovered traces of copper in the earth burrowed out of a wombat hole. Moonta in the 1870s was the largest town outside of Adelaide, with around 1,200 people living in the area. There was even 80 businesses in the town, 5 hotels and 3 banks. I loved hearing about how much they valued education. In this area, you started working life as a pick boy. They sat at the table or conveyor belt sorting out the good ore from the waste. Their boys were only allowed to go to work after their schooling hours and their studies were completed. Something we've learned about is fresh water in this area. It's always been a problem setting up towns. The people here relied on rainfall. The company built dams and soaks in the sandhills. Unfortunately though, the water that was collected in the underground tanks was often polluted by waste from animals and even the miners themselves. Endemics of typhoid, cholera and diphtheria broke out, as you could see in the old cemetery. It was terribly sad. Until the 1890s, all the work here was underground and done by manual labour. No machines at all. The shafts were dug by hand using very basic tools and blasting. To get from one level to another, the miners climbed up and down steps. Some of these shafts even went as deep as 800 metres. We were here on a very hot day. I can't imagine how difficult life was. She's riding! She's doing it! Still going! Still going! You will keep going! Grab me the tail.
mostly completed in the 1850s. And where I'm standing at the moment, a veranda here in the main entrance into the homestead. Pretty amazing place, actually. It's obviously ruins, but they had a parlour over here, and then these other areas were used as bedrooms, and one as a doctor's surgery apparently, and a kitchen through the back. So board over there that I read that there was no official mail service, so the station took on the service of the post office, and apparently in 1862 had 23,000 letters come through here, which is amazing. So it really would have been all to the heart of this area. Worth coming to stop in at if you're on your way up the Flinders Way, the Outback Highway. Flinders Way, Outback Highway, something like that, on the way up to the Flinders Ranges. Anyway, let's have a look around.
Catchment. The system flows off Mount Remarkable north across the plain, joined as it goes by many creeks and watercourses from the ranges on either side. It drains an area of 6,500 square kilometres into Lake Torrens at 200. This is Wilpena Pound. So it's called Pound if you're not aware, because it's an English word for an enclosed area. Akala is the local name. Akala, I think it is. That's how you pronounce it. We're camped just down here, which is really cool. The only problem being this time of year is a lot of the tracks, walking tracks, are closed because of the heat. Although it's a very pleasant mid 20 degrees Celsius at the moment. I think we're forecasting around 35 on Friday or Saturday. So it's going to get quite hot, but at the moment, gee, you'd have no problem at all trekking around here. And then we're in December now, mid-December, and late November there was a lot of flooding going on in the area. So luckily a couple of tracks, 4 drive tracks have opened up today. And they've been closed for over a month, so we're hoping we'll do a bit of touring around by car, but it's a bit unfortunate we can't climb Mary's Peak or a few of the other big tracks that take most of the day, so that's a bit unfortunate. They go around the rim of the pound, but anyway, that's the way it is. But it's, yeah, quite pleasant at the moment. We've had a little bit of rainfall, which is very unusual, I think, for the Flinders. I think they get less than 40 days of any rain a year, so it's quite arid. We're heading further north after here, getting up into the desert country, so obviously the rainfall will decline, but I think it's quite spectacular at the moment. It's very green, as you can see, right? Which I think would be quite unusual for this landscape. So yeah, we're enjoying it at the moment. We're about to cook up some dinner, and we'll do a bit of sightseeing tomorrow. Might do a bit of a big 4 drive track. We'll see how we go with that one. Maybe a few walks in the afternoon, or maybe even in the morning. So that's our update. Catch you later.
Homestead at Wilpena Pound and read about the lady tending to her orchard and things like this with buckets of water. And just walking along, we've come down and found where it is next to the river. There are still some fig trees here with, I can't think you can see them up there, some beautiful figs still on it.
Over here.
And here,
right there,
is another fruit tree. I'm not quite sure from it what type of fruit tree, but you can see it. And then on the other side over here is all these really old other overgrown fruit trees down by the riverbed. So I was very excited to find that.
drinking, fanning Tilly's dinner. And there you go.